Our friend George Callers tweeted this. The owners, George, Alex and Drew, are filming Pips and Pints. And whose shot is it anyway? Episode 2 on Thursday. Ask us a question in the comments. We will select some and answer them on the day. I've done well for Year 11 education. The questions can be prop, institutional, markets or anything. So, chats and charts. What was the cost for Alpha to run that 5K promotion for 75,000 traders? I'll repeat that. 75,000 traders. Show us another firm in the industry that's give away 75,000 5K accounts. Do the maths, because I can't. 75,000 times 5. That's a lot of money we've give away and that we've paid out.
Can I start?
Yep.
Because the cost of it initially made me feel sick, because what people don't realise, here we go again.
I ain't been paid for 3 months.
Here we go again about cost. Was it 75,000?
75,000 free accounts. And we've paid people more than $500,000.
So what people actually don't understand behind the scenes is that's 75,000 people, okay, that
have the potential.
Hold on, that haven't paid us a penny, that I need to pay per KYC. There's 75,000 KYCs that need to be done there.
Yeah, to be fair, that was one of the biggest costs.
So for people to really get an understanding, we had to pay for 75,000 individuals to be KYC. People don't realise that.
It was actually more than that, because there was a few that got failed.
But, there you go. But the good news, which he'll tell you, that's laughable for us, because a lot of other firms that don't own the broker, don't own the tech, that would have been a lot more money.
I mean, it comes back to infrastructure that we said earlier, right? So the reason that we was able to even offer 75,000 free 5K assessment accounts is because of our infrastructure and our costs.
Absolutely.
We didn't have to pay, $5 per account or $10 per account to a broker, and we didn't have to pay this for our tech. And before you know it, if you was paying XYZ for a tech and XYZ for a broker, that would have cost you £1 million.
I agree.
Before you've even started.
Yep, I agree with all that. But I also want people to tell me it does cost us.
Oh, it cost us.
And
it didn't cost us £1 million.
No.
But we've had more than 500 grand's worth of payouts on it.
But yes, we're soon approaching. I think we're maybe 370 odd now.
Yep.
Obviously that increased because people have still got the accounts. But yeah, I mean, our only cost, regardless of the data. Eh?
They know Danny's going that. They know. Right, next question.
Quick fire.
Quick fire. Fuck me.
Quick fire.
Right,
next question.
Get me beer and all.
Alan Jeff Anuku. Is it true there's a hidden rule that you must hold? I'll start that again. Is it true there's a hidden rule that you must hold the trade for at least 2 minutes?
No.
Wait there. Fuck me. I haven't even asked the question yet. If so, what happens to limit orders that are placed and triggered by news? And TP, take profit, or stop loss is hit immediately.
No.
Is it true?
No. So the 2 minute, there is a 2 minute rule. One, it's not hidden. It's in our FAQs. Go to the FAQs. Every single rule that we have is there. The 2 minute rule is an average of every single trade taken.
Yeah.
So an individual trade that lasts 2 seconds and hits your take profit or stop loss, fine. The only time it comes into place is if you place 100 trades and the average of those 100 trades is less than 2 minutes. Yeah. At which point, you're in the category of a high frequency, scalper.
Yeah.
So if you're getting in and out of all of your trades in 30 seconds, 10 seconds, 40 seconds, it's impossible for us in terms of the data monetization. It's not sitting on our side long enough for us to do anything with it, let alone take a look at it, because it's gone by the time you've opened it. So
yeah, but you'll find that with deposit taking brokers.
It's the same with deposit.
It's exactly the same.
The deposit taking broker, and it's the same with us. We look at something called the trade decay. So the time in which it takes for the moment you've placed a trade for it to enter. The moment you place a trade, you're offside by the spread. Yeah. And the trade decay is how quickly it takes for that profit for that trade to then get into profit. Yeah. So your trade decay curve, if you're then closing them out in less than a minute or 2 minutes, it just skews our book and it messes up our clean data set that we're looking to create. So I'll wrap that one up quick though. No, you can place trades under 2 minutes, but yes, you can place trades under 2 minutes, but the average of all of your trades must be over 2 minutes. Yep. So it's got to be a mixture. It can't be all of them under.
Perfect. My missus has got a 2 minute rule in my house as well, so it's good. I've never broken it. That's the only rule I stick to, but it's well. Right, next one. Great one. Isaac, GXHS Futures. Do you sleep with your socks on or off?
On. No, hold on, I said on, off. I don't have socks on when I sleep.
No, what I do is as soon as I come home from work, I put my UGG slippers on, which is my favourite thing that I own. Hold on. UGG slippers are my favourite thing that I own. But the nicest thing about owning them is when you take them off. So I'm off as well, but it's just a lovely feeling when you kick them off. You know what I mean?
Their socks on.
Depends how drunk you are, though, because if you've had a few beers, I'm sleeping with all my clothes on.
No one sleeps with their socks on.
Yeah, no one sleeps. Surely
What's his
no
name?
one's got their socks on.
His name is Isaac. Big shout out to
Isaac.
Isaac.
You definitely sleep with your socks on.
You can't tell me
You're
you sleep
asking
with
that
your socks
question.
on. No one else does, just you, mate.
Right, next question. When will Alpha Futures be launching?
Alpha Futures and Alpha Stocks.
And Alpha Stocks, not Alpha Socks. Alpha Stocks. But if you do like wearing stocks for bed, then I can get you a pair.
Old Isaac's going to get excited, isn't he? Alpha Stocks.
Isaac, if you want
Isaac will be an Alpha Stock.
Alpha Stocks for you and all your family.
Alpha Futures and Alpha Stocks is in the works. I mean, I think all of us, particularly you, Drew, are more excited about Alpha Stocks. But Alpha Futures, I think, again, it's a natural progression. We've always kept a simple approach. If you go onto our website, there's one option, the Alpha Pro, assessment option. It's just account sizes. There's not 1 steps, 2 steps, 3 steps, and standard versions and pro versions, and 100 different variations of what to choose from. There's just one package. All you need to do is choose the account size. We've always kept it simple, and I think, obviously, for us, we'd rather offer 3 separate products as opposed to 10 variations of one product.
But the truth is, in the answer to that question, potentially middle of the year.
It's coming.
Potentially middle of the year is how I would answer.
It's coming. Next question. AMH142 at AMH1421996. Hope that's not your bank password. Why do you promote a prop to be for traders when we know how profits are made? I'd like to point this out. I've said it before. Well, the most important thing for trading is, and you've got to be a realist in this game, yeah? It's not for everyone, only the strong survive. If you're too emotionally weak, it's never going to work. So the most important thing for us to provide is the best trading conditions, which we do, which is a tick. The broker, which we provide, which is a tick. The technology we provide with a tick. The support we provide, which is a tick, which you can always speak to us directly. My phone number's out there as well. So we give you the best tools to make it easier for you. You have to do the rest. And that's all I think we should say on that. So
nothing.
Next question.
So on that, there's some people there's a question going, why is it...
Security?
Why is it if you've got the best broker, or you've got your own broker, are you not providing best spreads in the industry?
George?
So we've always, when we launched, we launched with no commissions. So what a lot of people, I think, have overlooked is someone offers you, I'll give you an example, right? There's companies that offer $5, $7 commissions, and then, 0.2, 0.3, 0.4 lot spreads. The $7 commissions is equivalent to 0.7 of a pip spread. So if I offer you a 3 pip spread and $7 commission, the total trade cost is 1 pip. If Alpha Capital offers you 0.7 of a pip spread and 0 commission, your total trade cost is 0.7 of a pip. So you're 0.3 pips cheaper. Traders will open up the chart, they'll see the spreads. Oh, we're 0.7 and someone else is 0.3. So, we're way tighter. In actual fact, we're tighter.
Yeah. Can I just say something? Because Drew and I have been, and obviously Alex, you've been on a broker side.
Mate. You sit in the middle.
We're just,
Take the limelight.
Right. You've all asked for it, but as Drew and I have been in the industry particularly, we've had to deal with commissions going through the floor. We can't get people to pay to do products. This is a tried and tested method. You don't want to be paying commissions. You've already got the best setup to start with. Don't do the flipping around. We would love you to give us the money. Bring it on. But you've got an industry here which fixed commissions, it's a dying breed. Get it out of your head. As George has just presented, it's all about you've got the best scenario to start with.
The total trade cost of the no commissions is actually cheaper. However, we've been badgered and asked so much.
No, absolutely. You've got to offer it.
We have now launched raw spreads. So the spreads are tighter, but it comes with $2.50 lot commission.
But it's amazing how popular that is.
It's crazy.
I know, yeah.
People want to pay the comp.
But if you
But
was
that's
to,
the education.
It's unheard of, isn't
if
it?
you sit down and calculate the total trade cost though, of the no
is it
commission
more
option that we
expensive?
offer compared to everyone else out there,
Yeah, it's cheaper.
It's so competitive.
People
it's
can't get
cheaper.
that, and that's why we talked about this morning, max lot rule.
Yeah.
We're going to have to, and commission. Sorry, mate.
Yeah, we're going to make it as transparent,
Give me everything jeans off.
properly transparent for everyone, and there's nothing more transparent than that.
Get off me.
No, it's not more transparent than that. Right, so, next question. I've got to ask this, right? Right, Julie, Queen Julie, we call her in Discord. So shout out to Julie, one of our only female traders that's very active in the Discord. From Bonnie, Scotland as well. So we know her well. You're beginning to dominate the space and already implemented a lot of positive things this year. Have you got anything else left in the pipeline to come?
Yeah.
I think that's a secret, though. I think
I think
everything
we'll
else
keep our cards close. I mean, look, since we launched the innovation and doing things slightly differently, taking the longer route and investing heavily has always been our approach since the day we started. We didn't take the quick, fast approach. We took the long, expensive route to market. Hence, it took us a year to actually get off the ground because we was building the infrastructure.
Going back to what we said earlier, we're always reinvesting.
Yeah, always
Yeah, it's
reinvesting.
not-
Next question.
Go on, quick fire.
This one's to Planty.
Oh no.
I'm a 31-year-old Latina that thinks you're very good looking. Are you single? And can I have your number?
He's already got his
I've got
power
steam
out.
coming out.
That one was to me. That's what we did. And yeah, I think that's nothing else really.
Decent.
So I've got one here, straight into George actually. Hope you're doing well. This is from Bazit1797. Interesting concept here. I have suggestions that if someone passed phase 1 but failed in second phase, then give him at least one chance to clear that phase. I know where they're coming from here because it's so hard to get to phase 2, isn't it?
Sorry, what is he asking?
So what they're asking for is it's taken so long to get
All right.
to on that because we know, right?
Life is hard.
I know.
Get over
if
it.
you get to phase 2, that's a new it's like getting to base camp on Everest, isn't
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
it? Should I? Not only do I get a reset, do I get a couple of chances to win?
Well, phase 2.
Of course you can.
No.
But no, of course not. Liven up, get stronger, work harder.
I think, listen.
I can understand where it's coming from.
I will answer that question. I think it depends. If you're if you've passed stage 1, you've made 8%, you've stayed within the risk limits.
So you
then
know what you're
get
doing,
to,
don't you?
You get to stage 2, you know what you're doing, you've got the capabilities, your strategy is clearly somewhat profitable.
Yep.
Comes down to risk management after that point. If you're trying to pass stage 2 in a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, and you blow it, that is on no one else's shoulders other than your own.
Yeah, correct.
For
Yeah,
rushing it.
exactly.
There's no time limits. You can take 6 months.
Right.
This is important though. There's so many traders.
The camera, tell them.
There's so many
Tell them.
traders out there that rush trying to achieve the goal tomorrow, next week, next month. Why rush?
Markets every day.
The markets are not going anywhere. The opportunity's not
listen,
going anywhere.
and I think
If it takes you 6 months,
Yeah, listen, that's life,
as
though.
opposed to 2 weeks. But
that is
hold on,
life.
But you take that one chance 6 months.
Yeah.
It takes you 6 months, and it's only cost you one
And
assessment.
that's the reason why we stopped the maximum.
Yes.
Sorry, the
Just to take the pressure off.
maximum.
Yeah,
It's not.
But it's also why we're one of the only companies that offer free risk assessments if you fail twice. Because if you fail twice, we'll offer you a one-to-one. Jerry heads them up, and Planty, you'll be taking them over soon. A one-to-one where we'll sit down and go, look, this is what you're doing wrong. You're over-risking here. You're deviating here. This,
of course.
this bit's a red flag in your trading. Like, why are you doing this? And you're
and
constantly losing here. Why?
I
do you
had a
keep doing that?
conversation with a member of staff a few days ago, and they said to me, they said, Alex, what are you doing for people that fail? They said, what is failure? I said, well, failure is when someone quits, right? He's like, yeah, but there's loads of people that fail. I said, yeah, but they've quit. You only fail when you quit, remember that. But if you're not trying to progress in... Well, listen, I would never be a great trader because I don't want to be. But if that's what you want to be, then you have to execute every day to become that person. And you know, if failure is not an option, you will make it. But if failure is an option, you won't. And it's very simple.
Comes down to...
I think you agree with that, John, with anything.
You know,
Yeah.
But you could trade the same strategy. Like, I could have a strategy that works for me. I'm profitable with it, but the main thing that maybe makes me profitable is my discipline and risk management. Planty could try to replicate my exact entries. We take the exact same trades at the exact same time, but then emotionally and psychologically, emotions get in the way. You're trying to rush things. You're trying to over leverage. All of a sudden, I'll pass I'll make 10 grand and Planty will blow it. but we've
Yeah,
taken
you're
the
right.
exact same trade.
Yeah,
so
you're right.
it is
Same level, same
yeah,
entry level.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Same entry level.
Have you been looking at my
Yeah,
account?
and
I think that I'm like Cloudy Ranieri,
in
the Tinkerman. I can't stop. I
trading,
can't leave it
though,
alone.
And you can attest to this from both of your
Yeah.
professional careers. It's you, yourself, and I. Like the market doesn't give a fuck about what you think or what you feel or what your bias is. It doesn't. No one cares. It's down to and it will give you
This is what I said in my videos recently. It's a ridiculous statement to make, but it is true. You're all right in some microcosm.
Yeah, long or short, there's
you're
a
not,
bias to each.
as long as you're doing some research, there's something about it that you've pinned it on. It's just that there are bigger players in the ascendancy at any one time.
Yeah.
And if you've got a strategy that can pick in and out of that, stick with it. There's no reason to only change it when it fucks up.
Just take your time. Don't over risk. Don't over leverage. Don't rush it. Like honestly, it's the most important thing I think I can stress to anyone that is with us or with a competitor. Just take your time. Just stick to your strategy. Be disciplined. Manage your risk, and there's no rush.
There's lots of questions into you guys talking about the total exposure size in the firm, because and it came up on my interviews last week with successful traders who
On the max allocation.
So the max allocation of 300 and 400, they're saying it doesn't really exist elsewhere. And in fact, the successful traders, the successful traders said they would like to have up to $1 million worth of exposure with alpha because they love us so much. They're being forced to go away.
I like the, I love it so much. I want £1 million or £2 million quid with alpha. But the caveat with that is the reason that we have the principles and the rules in place.
Remember the last firm that said that, don't you? Well, £1 million with us. Where are they now?
But everything that we do has a strategic reason behind it, right?
Okay.
That, as a company, we don't want to over risk. As a company, we don't want to over leverage. As a company, we don't want to offer traders too much. That's we've then got a trader's got 2 million. Virtual funds, but they've still got an account of 2 million. They've got 200 grand's worth of risk. It's you're over leveraged to a specific individual.
Correct.
Whereas with us, the diversification of the trading data is what's most important. You don't want to have your whole books. It's the same why we don't allow the group trading aspect, because you don't want to have 10 traders on 200k accounts trading the same thing, because you've got 2 million. You're skewed to 10 traders doing if they all have a bad day, if one has a bad day, they're all doing the same thing. 10 have a bad day.
That's well summarised.
So
that's well summarised.
Trying to keep the family alive within
the diversification of it is key. So I think that's
a wrap.
important.
Anyway,
yes, boys.
Yes, boys.
Very pleasure.
Very pleasant gathering.
Pleasant.
Thank you.
Yeah, lads.
Good lads.
Lads.
Cheers.